Arise, transcend thyself. Thou art man, and the whole nature of man is to become more than himself.
A very good morning to Anjali ma'am from me ma'am, Shiv Kumar ji, my seniors, colleagues and my dear children. Welcome to the first session of day 7 of the Spiritual Retreat 2021. Before we begin with the proceedings, let us observe 30 seconds of silence to invite the divine to guide us in all we do. It is a great honor for me to introduce Sri Shiv Kumarji, who grew up in Kerala among Tamil, Telugu, and Malayalam speaking communities. As he grew up, he was fascinated with science and technology and how they can make our lives better. So he started his career with a degree in mechanical engineering and a computer aided design engineer, and worked in the industrial world for 5 years. Very soon, he saw that without the deeper spiritual values, science and technology loses its direction and purpose. So, he decided to take a break from work and started engaging himself in full-time study and practice of Indian spirituality, especially the integral yoga of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. Since 2001, he has been working in the fields of education and the youth through Sri Aurobindo Society at Puducherry. He strives to find ways and means of applying spirituality into every aspect of his life. In link with yesterday's session to aim higher, I would now like to share the screen so that we can actually share a quote of Mother, which is in link with yesterday's session. It is not for a family. It is not to secure a good position. It is not to earn money. It is not to obtain a diploma that we study. We study to learn, to know, to understand the world, and for the sake of the joy that it gives us. Now, I would request Sri Shiv Kumarji to begin the session.
So, welcome back and a very warm good morning to all of you. We started the day with Sri Ram and such a lovely way to begin the day. And now, before we take up something new, I just wanted to ask all of you, how many of you could do the homework which I gave you yesterday? Yes, very nice. I'm seeing so many hands raising. Excellent. So, what was the homework? We express our generosity. Whether if one of you can even share it with me, I would like anybody from, let us say, class 9. There are several students who are from 9th standard too, right? Who from the 9th standard would like to share whether they tried to put into practice Udarta, the generosity that we were speaking about yesterday? Now I have switched my view to gallery view. So if anybody from 9th standard can lift your hand, then I can probably select at least one of you. Aditya Mishra.
In my free time, I make video edits. So, sir, my sister was asking me to make one for her favorite fictional characters. They're from a show named Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So, sir, actually, she had been asking for many days. So, what I did was that yesterday I just found out, so I just took out some time and just made it.
So, did you ask any return of favor? मैंने ये दे दिया, दो chocolate दे दो?
No, sir.
See, that makes it all the more beautiful. So when we do something with the idea of getting a return, well, the quality of what we did comes down.
Yes, sir.
Very drastically. And there is a joy also because we have not asked anything for return. We have just let our energies flow. And why did we do that? So we will just have a quick recap of what we saw yesterday so that it comes into our mind and then it stays fresh. So what did we see yesterday? We were looking at the life and its aim. First thing we saw is, should we even have an aim? Why don't we move in the direction of the wind blowing? So little bit of time we go this direction and this direction. Sometimes we get interested in one subject and then we drop it suddenly and then our interest jumps to another. So we keep shifting here and there. Or should we have a general aim in life, the direction where we have to go, and we can select 100 things which will help us to move towards. Now remember, when we have to set a name, it's not that only one thing we have to select and we have to move only in that direction. We can select anything and everything. Only thing we are going to ask, well, will it take me in that general direction? Will it make me go one step closer to my aim in life? If the answer is yes, well, we can go. And we saw what Mother said, every one of us should have an aim. But then one can have a very small aim. One doesn't have to really make an effort. Even if one is dull, boring, still you can get an aim. No, we don't want that type of an aim. Why? Because on the quality of our aim will depend the quality of our life. So our next question we asked the mother was, okay, tell us, how do we improve the quality of our aim? And then the mother said, well, I'm going to tell you 4 things. What are they? First thing, well, you look at yourself, focus on your own capacities and what you want to do and make it as high as possible. Not something which is small. Only after progressing in this one, working on yourself at least a little bit, like we develop all the capacities of our body, we get our capacities of expressing ourselves through art and music and dance and drama. We develop little bit of capacity to think. So all this we have to focus on, and only once we have developed ourselves to a certain extent, then only we should begin to widen. And widening means what? We are not thinking about only us, but we are including other people also. Whatever I have achieved, I'm ready to share it with others. And my identity becomes a little bigger. Probably my family, my circle of friends, my school, my community, and the entire Jaipuria city, and then the whole of UP and the whole of India. There is no end towards widening the circle. But how do we do it? Well, we can't widen ourselves if we keep everything to ourselves and unwilling to share. And therefore, we have to be generous. The first step is we have to be generous. But then one question comes, I have some money. If I start sharing it, money kam pad jata hai. If I have energy and I want to make everybody, if I spending that energy, after some time, well, all the energy gets spent, well, I become tired. So then how can I keep on having generous? I need to get something back. So I should do it with the idea of getting back something. No. The mother tells one of the great secret of the universe. What is it? That if we allow the expression, the free sharing of our vital, intellectual and spiritual energies, forces to flow abundantly, if we know how to connect our little individuality, whatever we have, to the great universal current. When we start sharing with everything, remember, not only to people, but even to the birds, to the animals, to the sky, to the ground, everything in the universe, if we begin to share our energies, what we have with them, then what happens? A kind of a door of the universe opens, and Mother says, what we give will be returned to us. How many times? 100-fold. And therefore, well, we don't have to worry. Our focus should be on developing things and then sharing, and that itself will give a great joy. Now, this joy is something that we will have to learn to focus on. Now, once we begin to do this sharing, what happens gradually? We get an idea. It's not only money that needs to be shared. There is a lot more that we can share. And if we actually look at it, actually, I came across one incident from the life of Sri Guru Nanak. And that gave me an idea what it means to be generous. There are times when I think that, no, if I get something, no, I will see that, oh, I got it only a little amount. I don't want to share it with myself. And whenever I get into that mode, and this is what I go through, I want one of you to read it so that all of us can enjoy what it means to be generous. So, Aditya, 3 participants raised their hands. Okay, let me see who has raised their hands. Oh, Ankit has raised your hand, and Palak also raised your hand. So we'll start with Ankit.
एक आदमी ने गुरु नानक से पूछा, मैं इतना गरीब क्यों हूँ? गुरु नानक ने कहा, तुम गरीब हो क्योंकि तुमने देना नहीं सीखा। आदमी ने कहा, परंतु मेरे पास तो देने के लिए कुछ भी नहीं है। गुरु नानक ने कहा, तुम्हारा चेहरा एक मुस्कान दे सकता है, तुम्हारा मुंह किसी की प्रशंसा कर सकता है, या दूसरों को सुकून पहुंचाने के लिए 2 मिनट बोल सकता है। तुम्हारे हाथ किसी जरूरतमंद की सहायता कर सकते हैं और तुम कहते हो तुम्हारे पास देने के लिए कुछ भी नहीं। आत्मा की गरीबी वास्तविक गरीबी है। पाने का हक उसी को है जो देने जान।
Very nice. You understand? This way, all of us are very rich people. Yes or no? We have so much to give, but if we become a little conjuice and then I don't even want to give a smile to anybody, then what happens? Our mouth itself gets set in a non-smile fashion if we are not giving lots of smile. So if we begin to give smile to other people, our mouth becomes, that smiley emotion, like that it becomes naturally and spontaneously it will become. Or if we are a very conjuice, I don't want to smile at that person, then our entire face will become the smiley, which is very sad. We don't want to do it. And that's why, we have to be generous. All of us are very rich, and we can be more rich if we develop these capacities and energies more, and then we begin to share it with others, and then the universe will send 100-fold. Whatever we spend, it will send us back 100-fold. And then finally, Mother said, disinterested. So, apna self-interest ke liye, not for that we have to all the time thinking about me, myself, I want this, I want to be happy. The happiness that you get from being very selfish and self-centered is very limited. And therefore, we have to do it in a disinterested way, because the Mother says very strongly that if you focus only on yourself and not sharing anything with others, there is nothing more disgusting than to be busy with the little details of our personality and personal life. Now, this is what Mother has said. Now, all of us should have an aim which is high and wide. And then we begin to be generous and disinterested. And then, what was the final sentence she said in that quote of Aim of Life? Then she says, this will make your life precious to yourself and to others. Don't think that because we are all the time doing things for other people, what will happen to me? I will become very poor, sad, miserable. No. In fact, the life becomes so precious to us first, and then also to others. Now, this is something which Mother keeps emphasizing. You also will have to learn to be happy. You also will have to learn to be rich in terms of not only money, but in terms of capabilities and capacities too. And then when you have an aim like that, it is just a question of reaching there eventually. But this aim, all of you have written your aim of life, isn't it? First, you started with something, then you made it high, then you made it wide by including other people. Now, I want at least one of you to read what you have written as the aim of life.
So, my aim of life is to be my real self and to help others to find their true self.
See, you have already. And then if you have to write a second sentence, what will that be? I will start by being generous and share all that I have with others, and not only focus all the time on myself. So that will be the second line. Then only it will become high and wide, generous and disinterested. Isn't it? Now, this is our aim. And some people have, the aims are also, our aim has always two aspects. One is the aim that concerns outside things. For example, if some people have said that, no, I want to have a family which is very loving. I want to build a school where everybody gets an education. Yesterday, there was one of you said that you want to build a school. Then we saw how you can widen from the narrow education of only physics, chemistry, biology, how even the co-curricular things and everything that we need can be part of education. We saw how one can widen. So all these things which are outside things which is necessary for our aim. But there is another dimension which is not outside of us. We are not looking at and taking care of outside things, but that dimension happens within us, inside us. Now, when I say inside us, where will it happen? Well, in my mind, in the form of thoughts. For example, I get different types of thoughts. Sometimes I get very sharp thoughts, because of which I can even build a school in no time. I can come up with a plan for building a school and with different departments and how to organize things. Sometimes it comes quickly. Sometimes I'm not getting any idea. My mind becomes dull, and that affects my planning and execution, my achieving the aim of life, isn't it? So the idea and the plan will have to happen on the inside. Execution has to happen on the outside. Dono chahiye. Or let us say my emotions. I am feeling very tired, very dull, and I'm not feeling energetic, active. I have lots of idea, but I have no energy to execute them. What will happen? Well, you have all big ideas. No, I want to build a school. I want to build this. I want to make everybody happy, but no energy on the inside. What will happen to our aim of life? We have to look into ourselves and then see that our energies are very well developed. Now, for 2 days you work and then you need rest for 2 more days. No, sometimes people call this as burnout. Whenever you have an important program in the school, like the annual festival or something, what do you do? Normally, I hope you are not doing it, but normally, day and night you work for it. And once the event is over, all your energies are spent. You go, then the next one day, you say, please grant me leave for 1 week because I'm so sick. I have no energy. I will have to eat properly, sleep properly, do this. It shouldn't be like that. We should know how to keep our energies at maximum level, when to be highly active and when to take rest also. Then all our energies are at our disposal. Now, this thing which happens on the inside. And it is the inside which will make all your plans and ideas into a reality on the outside. Yes or no? See, you can have big ideas. I want to build something for everybody in the world. I want to make everybody happy. All big ideas will not happen until and unless you look at yourself and look at the inner stream of your life. There is an outer stream which you have to make happen. There is an inner stream of your life. Do you understand the word? Inner stream. There is a river that is flowing on the inside. So there is an inner stream and there is an outer stream. Now comes the most important thing. The outer stream, whatever we want to do, has to match with what is happening inside the inner stream. Yes or no? What happens if it doesn't match? I'm going to give you an example. Let us say after +2, all your father and mother said you have to apply for doctor. You have to become a doctor, so apply doctor. And then you applied, you got an admission into a medical college, one of the best medical college in Lucknow. You got into there. So you become a medical student. And then for the first time, you enter into the medical lab. Sometimes, they ask you to dissect a frog. I don't know whether you have already done it. Maybe in your biology lab, you could have done it. So you are a medical student. Your father and mother have said you have to become a doctor. So they have put you in a medical college. You go to that lab. And then first time you take up a knife. And then you look at the frog and somewhere you feel bad for the frog. It happens most of the time. But still, the teacher says dissect because we want to study the frog. And you slowly rip it open, and then the first thing that comes out, I don't know, what will happen if you cut open a frog? What will come out first?
Sir, lungs.
Lungs? Well, even before that, if anybody cuts you open, is the
Blood.
lung?
It will be blood. Yeah.
The blood comes out. Now, looking at the blood, some reactions happen inside you. You get a chucker and then bang, you fall down on the floor because you can't stand the sight of blood. And then everybody comes, they wake you up, and then you realize that, Arey Baba. Now just imagine this person becomes a doctor who can faint at the sight of blood. How do you think he is going to become a good doctor? Just imagine one patient comes, he got up in an accident and the blood is coming out. One look at him and then the doctor faints. How can he treat? Now, this is interesting. The inner stream is, there are so many things which are happening, which doesn't go with. Now, what do you have to do? Well, you have to take care of this inner stream. Otherwise, it will not go. Now, this inner stream is of two types. Okay. The one is things that you picked up from outside, the habits and the tendencies which you have picked up from outside, which you are trying to imitate. Okay. I will give you an example. The other type of inner stream is a set of things that you are born with, your inborn qualities and tendencies. So इसमें क्या फर्क है? One which we picked up and then one with which we are born. Now, the things that you have picked up, they don't resonate with you. Just to give you an example, let's say, let's take one nice movie which all of you would have seen. It's an old movie. Have you heard of the movie Dilwala Dulhania Le Jayenge? How many of you have seen the movie? Give me it's a little old, but it's Shah Rukh Khan's very popular movie. Now, his character is that he will make a joke out of everything. He doesn't believe in being serious at all. Now you look at it and you will find, oh, kya bindas hai ye. And you pick up the habit. So you start making joke about everything. Probably your brother falls ill and then you come crack a joke and then go. Your brother feels very sad. Why is he making a joke out of my illness? It's a very serious thing for me. What happens? Just I'm giving you an example. If you get into that habit of making fun of everything, no. There are a few things in life which are very serious. So you have to approach them with a certain seriousness. There are a lot of things which you can approach with a light-hearted, jocular way. You can crack jokes on it, but not everything. Now, this is an example. You were impressed by a film and then you just felt like picking it up and then you did it. But finally, when something serious happens, when you crack a joke, something inside you will tell you, no, something inside you will not feel okay with it. It will feel, there will be a contradiction, a little bit of conflict. Something inside will say, Arey, why are you making a joke out of everything? This is a serious situation. And then suddenly you realize, yes, no, we can't joke all the time. There is something serious and then something which can be joked at. And suddenly you find that coming from inside, and then you realize that there are things that come from your deeper heart. It's not the normal, you want to be bubbly, funny, which you pick up. You looked at somebody and then you pick it up. No, there are a lot of things which come from an inner heart, which actually makes you who you are. Now imagine if your parent or somebody else or the school or somebody force you to select something which is not aligned with your inner tendencies, then how will your life will be? Very conflicted. I will give you one more example because this is such an important point. There are some people, some even children, they have a warrior spirit, Kshatriya attitude. They feel alive and happy when they can show their bravery. They can stand up and then they want to fight for a noble cause. They want to fight for whatever it may be, for the well-being of everybody, but they want to fight. And that is their tendency. Now, suppose you make them into a doctor, let us say his father or mother or somebody in the society forcefully put him into a doctor. He becomes a doctor. And then let us say a patient comes and the patient is very depressed because he is having some illness, some pain. And then this warrior doctor look at him. So he looks at the patient, probably this fellow was caught in an accident. So he looks at him and the warrior spirit of the doctor comes out. Arey, what have you done? Buddhu, can't you even see where you are going? Why do you have to get into an accident? Can't you drive carefully? Arey, you're good for nothing. And then padak, like the warrior spirit, the fighting spirit comes in. Poor patient is already having pain. He will simply say that, Baba, I don't want any treatment, and he will run away from you. Now, suppose if that person finds something outside which is aligned with him. For example, he joins for a cause which is noble, fighting for the rights of people who are poor, people who are underprivileged, fighting for getting good education for everybody, not the usual education, but very all-round, complete education for everybody, basic necessities for everybody, fighting for, free speech. No, these are the things. Suppose if a person selects that as the aim of life, so andar aur bahar matching ho gaya hai na? If that happens, just imagine how beautiful the life will be, because what you feel, what is coming out from you deeply. There are people, actually, I have seen some children quite young, they will exhibit some tendencies which it is not coming from outside. And one time I came across one child, probably 5 6 years of a child. He comes from a family of people where father, mother, and brother, everybody is very practical. And father, all he is into is he wants to work, he wants to earn money, and mother is also very practical. They don't believe in this, art, music, dance, drama, which are, they say time pass. We are serious people, we need this. So there is nothing in the family which you can call as a musical sense or an artistic sense. Now, this child happened in the kindergarten. Whenever somebody plays a music in the piano, whatever he is doing, he will put it down and he will be drawn towards that music. He will be attracted, as if like how a magnet is pulling you, like that. The child will quietly drop whatever he is doing, and then he will go and sit next to the person who is playing music in the piano. And the more music he gets, something in him picks up more music, as if he was born for music. Later, of course, he became one of the best musicians. And it was visible. Suppose if you force him as he grows up, study mathematics and physics and something else, he will lose the time necessary for him to develop that deeper heart's qualities. And that is why when we look inside, there are something which we picked up. We are impressed by somebody and we pick up some qualities, but there are some qualities which we have to see. It comes from inside. They are inborn qualities. Where do they come from? Now, this is it. Every one of us have a set of these inborn qualities. It is as if somebody who is sitting inside has already decided that this is what I want to be in this life. And that which is sitting inside is bringing all the qualities necessary for you to select an outer aim which matches with it. So when you finish +2, when you make a decision, you don't have to scratch your head, oh, what am I meant to be? You just have to look within, look at all the inborn qualities you have developed, and then you just have to select whatever is actually aligned, which is syncing with what you have developed. Now, isn't it something which is wonderful? And we call this as the inner stream. Lot of things that happen on the inside, and the qualities that we have, it's already there. We just have to bring it out. Now, what should happen in a school? Our school should help us to bring out these inborn talents and these inborn qualities. It may be anywhere. If there are some people who are meant to be sports person, well, for them, the school has to be such that once you have covered the basics of everything, little bit of physics, little bit of chemistry, because all that is basics are all needed by all of us. Little mathematics has to be there, whoever you are. Once the basics are covered, then you will have to select something which you resonate with, what you really want. If you are meant to be a sports person, well, you have to spend more time on it and a little less time on other things so that you can become what you meant to be in this life. Now, how do I discover what is this inborn qualities that I carry within myself? So we are going to make one attempt now. You have your pen and paper, pick it up. So you are going to write down 2 lists. Okay? What is this 2 list? The first list is 5 things which I love the most. It could be anything. It could be my family, my sister, my father, my brother, my mobile phone, my camera, my cricket bat. It could be anything. So 5 things or 5 items which you love the most. It can be people or object or instrument or anything. Now, second list. 5 things I love to do the most. 5 things I love to do. It's not object. It's now you are doing. For example, I want to play violin. I want to play sports. I want to sing. I want to jump. I want to irritate other people. Could be anything. What you really, really feel. And 5 things you love to do the most. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Can I assume that all of you have finished? All right. So one of you can share your list. Let me see. Let's start with Riddhi Kalra.
So first list the things which I love the most.
Huh.
So it's my parents,
Huh.
the school,
Huh.
my grandmother's, food and laptop.
Parents and grandparent and food and what are the other two things?
The school and laptop.
School and laptop. Very nice list. And what are the 5 things you really love to do the most?
So dance,
Huh?
paint,
Huh?
write,
Hmm.
listen to music,
Okay.
and swimming.
And swimming. Who would like to go next?
My list of 5 things that I love is my kids and husband.
Oh, you are not a student.
I am not, and I'm so keen into sharing my list. So please allow
Fine,
me.
let's have for variety what it means
Okay,
because
okay.
you've been through some of your life. So let's look
Yes.
at the list. Go ahead, please.
First of all, it's my kids and my husband. Then it's my parents, and then it's food. And I love to eat all Indian into whatever cuisines, and then nature
And nature and animals. All right. The 5 things you love to do.
I love to laugh.
Okay.
And I love to sing.
What does it mean, love to laugh? Even if there is no reason, you will sit akela and then start laughing?
So yeah, I like to socialize, meet people, and talk so that I get chances to laugh. Yeah.
Oh, you create situation where you can be happy and then laugh and then laugh. Then it is good. Otherwise, some people say that no, laughing is good. So they go into an open space. Nothing is happening. They will
Yes,
look at the
sir.
sky and they will say, ha, 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 ha. And
Yes, sir.
once I happened to say, I was wondering what happened. So, ye gaya. And very nice. So,
And I love to sing. I love to help people. I love to read and write. And I love to learn new things, explore whatever new thing I come across. And that's how I am here listening to you today. Because it's never late to find the real me. So I'm here.
the real me is yet to be found. We are all
Yes,
in
sir.
the process of covering layers which actually hiding it from us. That's what we are. So we are
Yes.
opening up the layers. We started with outside layers and outside influences. You know, people like Shah Rukh Khan, Aishwarya Rai, Anushka, and I don't know who other people, all the influence, trying to change our character.
Yes,
Some are
sir.
actually our true character, which matches, some don't, which we have to be careful. And then we got inside us, and now we are peeling the layers one by one on the inside. So
Yes, sir.
lovely. Something that I noticed is, from what I heard, all the both have said, family is something that I love. You know, the love and care and affection, which is guaranteed in most of the families, at least, is something that, you know, most of the time we take for granted, but also we love. If you will realize it only when you go out of your family. I tell you, after my studies, when I got a job, unfortunately, it was somewhere else in a next city. So until that, you know, how much we used to fight with my mother in eating what she has cooked and spending time with her. And then it was always something or the other. I will say, oh, ye acha nahi hai, wo acha nahi hai. I can't even remember any one time when I have told her that, oh, khana acha banaye hai aap. Nothing I can remember because I was a child, but grew up, got graduated when I went outside. And when I started eating food from hotels, that time I realized, my God, what a blessing it has been. Where my mom used to cook, we were 4 children. I already told you, I have 2 brothers and 1 sister. She will never cook them, same for everybody and then force feed everybody the same. She knows exactly what each one of us like, and then she will do it. And she will do it in her own way. Suppose, let's say, if she is making dosa, she knows my brother likes the dosa a little thick. You know what we call as a thick dosa? Uttapam. I hope you have tasted uttapam. Otherwise, you come to Kerala, Tamil Nadu, I will make you, eat uttapam with nice chutneys. So one brother, she will make uttapam. Another one, which is me, I always like my dosas very crisp, like paper roast. Third one likes masala dosa. So she will need to put the masala inside. And the fourth one is he wants design in dosa. So my mom will put a dosa round and then she will make some shape out of it. She knows how to do it and then she will feed it. She is making the dosa, but according to each one's wanting. You try that if you go to a hotel and then say any of these things and you will get to understand from them. They have only standard ready-made things. You select and then go. She even knows what type of plate we like, where we want to sit, all things. Just imagine the beautiful love that we have received from the family. At least I think you have to practice this generosity much more with your mom and dad and your other people, because when you grow up, get a job and go step outside your family, we may not get this chance. So remember, so today also, yesterday's homework, home practice applies today also, that you find something which make them happy and then try to do it. But coming back to it, this love that we have with each other, exchanging of, I take care of you, you take care of me, we take care of everything. I do one job which you don't like to do, like father knows one type of job and then he will do it. Mother loves to do other things which she has to select. Well, children want to play and then hang around and then masti karna hai, so they will have to do. All that freedom is there in the home. And that's why what makes it so beautiful. We resonate with it, that feeling, atmosphere, and the love which fills a home, which is what makes a home a home. So this inner stream, something deep within us has already come up with a set of things which we need. Somebody who is meant to be a great musician, whatever quality needed to make him a genius in music, he is already born with it. Somebody who is meant to be a greatest sportsman, all the qualities of a sportsman, something inside us already having it. You just have to give it opportunity to make it come out. So there is something deep within us which already has whatever we need in order to decide the aim of life and become who we are meant to be. Who is this something inside, probably sitting somewhere deep inside our heart, who already knows what we are meant to become? And not only that, it has brought all the capacities that we need. Just otherwise imagine, you really want to be the best musician, but क्या है वो सुर में जो difference है ना, वो समझ में नहीं आता है. What will you do? Just imagine if you don't have that quality and then very intense desire to be a musician, it doesn't go. Now, this is the beauty of life. We have missed out this most beautiful, which I think we have to share it with all the children in all the schools, that they are already born with those talents and we just have to bring it out. No child can say that, well, I want to be this, I love to be this, but mujhe kuch kami hai. We can't say it because we are already having. There is a genius inside every one of us. Different types of genius, musical genius, sportsman genius, or multiple geniuses in one person. There are so many things which we are meant to become, and we already have all the qualities necessary for it. And then we are coming. There is Sarthak is saying there are different types of Hanuman. Hanuman who is very brave, Hanuman who is loving and compassionate, Hanuman who is scientific, Hanuman who is sportsmanish. So different types of, as you say, if you want to look at it as Hanuman, go ahead, look at it Hanuman. Whatever it is, the truth is, well, this one actually has the precise knowledge. Now just note down all the knowledge and the capacity that we need, the insight that we need to do the right thing in the right way in our life is already there within us. And this is one of the first qualities of that inner genius. Well, I call it as the inner friend who is there. See, right now, we know a lot of thoughts are coming to us, sometimes confusing thoughts, sometimes very clear thoughts, sometimes mathematical thoughts. This we know, but there is something more within us. Sometimes we feel like singing and dancing, we feel like being happy, but there is something more in us. There are times when we do sports with our body, lots of energies get spent, but this is not all we are. The body, the emotions and thought, this is not all we are, because all these three are actually now getting developed. They don't have all the things that they needed, but there is a fourth part in me, deep in my heart. Call it inner friend, call it inner genius, call it Hanuman, call it whatever you may, but it is there and we need to become friends with it. Why? Because it has very precise knowledge and capacity, the knowledge and the insight needed to do the right thing in the right way. Now we have to become friends with that fellow. So whenever we don't know anything, we can just refer it to our friend. आज क्या करना है? Movie देखना है? Just quietly close your eyes and then feel within, and then probably it will you will be able to select one movie which actually you resonate with. क्या activities करना है? Feel inside. You will feel like doing certain things today. And you want to take up something for study, or you finish +2, what should I take up? Just close your eyes, step back a little bit, refer to it, and it will tell you. And sometimes it can tell you, it is so knowledgeable. Sometimes it will tell you radically different also. That possibility is also there. It can even tell you after +2, well, you don't go for college. Why don't you do something so radically different? Even that possibility is there. So don't put any limitations on who you want to be, what you want to be, because that is to come from inside. So Shashwat says, I forgot, it's the Agni and it has many names. Yes, sometimes we look upon it as a flame which always burns upwards. Upwards का मतलब क्या होता है? Towards progress, becoming the best I can be. Have you seen any flame which burns downwards? Or any flame which burns at 90 degrees? No. Even if you take up a lamp and then tilt it, still the flame will try to burn only upwards, isn't it? Like that, there is a flame inside which always wants to be the best it can be, only in one direction, which is the forward direction or the upward direction. This is who I am, and I want to be that. So definitely it's also called Agni. So I'm introducing this friend to you. Now, it's not yet become a friend. We are just getting up. मुलाकात हो रहा है. Friendship अभी तक नहीं हुआ है. So just an introduction stage, not yet become friends. So if you have to become friends with somebody, anybody in your class, you're meeting for the first time, what are the first 2-3 things that you do? Let me have one survey. Who would like to say anything from, let's say, class 8? So anybody can put your hand from class 8. Yuvraj has not spoken yet. Yuvraj, unmute yourself and say, so in your class, suddenly a new person comes and you want to become friends with him. What are the few things that you will do?
I will go to him. I will introduce myself to him, and then I'll ask that who are you? Where did you study previously? That way, what I would ask. Not only I say, and
okay.
Then,
so Ankit, let's go with Ankit.
So when a new child comes to my class, first of all, sir, as Yuvraj Bhaiya said, that he will introduce himself to him. Mm-hmm. So I will also introduce myself to him. So then I will ask information and say what all he does.
Okay, the name, all the details you know. Then what will you do?
Tell him that you have came to the school. This is your new school. You don't know anything about the school. If you want any help, I will help you.
बस उतना ही. उनसे पूछोगे तुम्हें क्या पसंद है?
I will ask him about his hobbies. So.
हाँ. What would you love to do? If he says that I want to play cricket, what will you say? Come on. Let's have a game of cricket. Or if he says that, I love to eat, I don't know, what is the main sweet in Lucknow, which everybody likes, or let's say pizza. So we'll say, when we get an opportunity, let's go and have some pizza. You will be asking him, what does he like to do? What type of a boy is he? You would like to find out, na? Because suppose, say, you know very well music, and suppose if the other boy doesn't like music at all, without asking him, you won't say, come on, I'm going to make you listen to a song, isn't it? So you will find out what he is good at it, what is special about this person, and you will see whether you also have the same frequency. Once your interest, what you like, is matching with what he likes, then you have the possibility of becoming what? Best friends. Other than this, Akshaj, what else will you do?
Sir, actually, we will try to be very familiar with him, and we will
So when you say familiar with what? His likes and dislikes?
Yes, sir.
Unka
yes,
hobbies?
Yes, yes.
Interests?
Yes, sir.
And suppose if everything matches with you.
Yes, sir. Actually, that only, because people are very much good friends which we have same qualities and same interests.
And then you have a possibility of becoming BFF. What is the full form of BFF?
Best friend forever.
And therefore, we have to know that what the other friend is capable of, what is his characteristics, what is good at, what is bad at. So now we have decided to become friends with the inner Hanuman, right? We have to know what this Hanuman does, what he loves to do, what he is good at it. And if you also love it, well, we have a good reason to fall in love with this inner friend or inner Hanuman. And therefore, I'm going to introduce you some of the characteristics of this inner Hanuman or the inner genius or the inner friend whom you call. The first thing which the mother says very beautifully, I'm going to share my screen with you. This is a genius. I told you it has already come up with a set of capacities that you are going to need in your life. It's waiting so that you can turn towards it, discover it, and begin to develop. So this one has the knowledge and the insight needed to do the right thing in the right way in your life. Anywhere you get stuck up, any decision that you have to make, anything you are doubtful of, should I do this? Should I do this? And then you turn towards it and then feel within, and then you will get the right answer, because the mother has also given it a name. Like one of you has named it as inner Hanuman, mother has named it as the psychic being. So what does she say? Only the psychic consciousness has the knowledge and the insight needed to do the right thing in the right way. So you have a problem to solve. After +2, you want to know what you want to become? Well, you just become quiet, turn around, feel, and then you will get the answer. Riddhima, you want to say something?
Sir, like sometimes it happens when your heart wants something else and your brain wants something else. Like there are two different things. Your heart wants to be in music, like you really love music, but your mind wants to be like in something that is more of the chances in future.
It wants to plan utility. Now, you are not supposed to listen to either of them. That is the most important thing, because the mind will always give you lots of reasons. Arey, paisa chahiye, jeene ke liye. So you have to eat, you have to sleep, you need a building, and all this money. So it will give its own reason. Now your heart will be passionate about a lot of things. It goes actually according to likes and dislikes, and they keep changing also. The likes you had, let us say 10 years back, are not the same likes that you have now. You have developed other interests. So neither the heart nor the mind should be listened to in important things. There is something behind them which has been there, which has been observing how your mind and your emotions are growing from your childhood. It knows both of these inside out, and therefore it can make the best decision, satisfying both. Otherwise, what happens if you listen to your mind? Well, you lose happiness. You become very mechanical and logical, and you don't want your life to be only that. But if you listen only to your heart, well, you will end up without any planning and organization in your life. Like you may not even know from where your food is going to come, and that the planning and organization will be totally lacking. What you need is a combination of both. So what will your psyche, if you go a little deeper, and sometimes perhaps you will select a work associated with the field of music, where the mind also has its full scope of application, where both are equally satisfied. Only one thing in this whole world can actually give you such a solution. Neither your father, nor mother, nor teachers, nor parents, nor the society. Only one thing which can give you a solution, which actually takes care of your complete requirement, and that is the inner genius, the psychic consciousness. Now, one of the things, the psychic consciousness, which is another characteristic, it can maintain a harmony between your mind, your heart, and even your body also. Why? Because it has been there from the beginning. It is actually secretly shaping their growth. I don't know whether you have observed. Now, Riddhima, have you observed that when you have something, let's say colors, you have particular likes of certain colors. When you want to have friends, you have a particular preference for some type of friends. Not everybody can become your best friend. Yes or no? Ridhima, yes or no? And then some activities, you don't like all the activities equally. There are some activities which you really love to do. In fact, the list that I made you do will give you an indication that there are certain things. Where does this likes and dislikes come? One, you have to say, have you picked it from somebody? No. Then you look inside and then you find that this has come from within, and therefore that is what you will have to promote and then maintain. So the thing that comes from inside has a tendency to keep everything in harmony. Your mind will not fight with your heart will not fight your mind, and both of them will not fight with your body, which says that no, mujhe to sirf khana pina mauj mein rehna hai, bas aur kuch nahi chahiye. Well, it will not fight with it. So it can come up with something which is the right thing in the right way for all of us. Now that is the beauty of this inner genius. So we call this as the capacity of intuition. It can, whatever you want to do, it can actually intuit and then come up with the right insight which is needed to do the right thing in the right way. Is it clear? Whenever we get stuck, well, we turn towards it. Now, the second quality of our inner would-be friend, it's not yet become friend, is something beautiful. What is the characteristic? It has the capacity to love more than one person and in an unconditional way. Now, our love, how it happens. Let us look at yourself. Whom would you call as your friend? Somebody who smiles at you, who does things that you like. Now, it is interesting. Suppose somebody does not do any of the things that you like. Obviously, what will you do? Ye mera friend nahi hai. I won't love him the way I love others. So, our love usually have some expectations, some conditions, and some limitations. Now, this is something that we will have to look at. Now, the thing inside, when we go a little deeper within ourselves, we'll find that we have the capacity to completely love another person without any conditions, without any expectation, loving for the joy of loving. You are happy because you love, not because it's like, I will smile at you only if you smile back at me. Ye to business ho gaya. I will do what you like only if you do what I like. This is a kind of a business transaction, no? I will spend a lot of time with you only if you spend a lot of time with me. You take me to a movie, I will take you to a movie. You play with me in a game which you like, then I will play with you the game in which you like. I do what you like, but you have to do what I like. This is a business transaction, but I do it for the joy of doing it. I love without any expectation condition. Oh, you love to do it? Come on, let's do it. I put myself completely into it. And then what happens? You end up with a happiness which is not dependent on people either smiling at you or not smiling at you. People doing things you like or people doing things you dislike. It is okay because everybody has, apni marzi se karte hain. But even if the circumstances are difficult, not what you expect, still inside you will have love and you will be happy. Now, this is the beautiful thing. Mother says, true happiness does not depend on external circumstances of life. Ye kya hai? It doesn't depend on somebody smiling at you, doing you favorable things. No, true happiness does not depend on this circumstances. And Mother says, one can obtain true happiness and keep it constantly only by discovering one's psychic being. Kyun aisa hai? And being one with it. Kyun aisa hai? Because its natural tendency is to love and be happy. In fact, all the limited love we have and all the limited happiness that we have is actually a part of what we are getting from it. So why rely only on, why be happy only with part? Let's go for the full happiness and love available. And this is the second quality of this inner friend. This is such a lovely thing, no? If we have something like this, we are all the time happy. And when we are happy filled with happiness inside, it will overflow. If you are filled with love on the inside, everything that we do, the love will express itself in talking, in saying something, doing something. Everything will carry the stamp of love and happiness. So we already saw 3 qualities of our inner friend. Which is anybody here who dislikes these 3 qualities? 1, it is intuitive in nature. It knows the right thing to do in the right way. Everybody would love to have such a friend, no? Second thing, well, it has capacity of unconditional love and happiness, which doesn't depend on anybody else, anything else in the world. Now, what a lovely thing. So is that all? Or do you want to know a little more about this inner friend? Maybe one more thing. This has an instant connection with nature and people. Dono ke saath. Why? It's a very special capacity. I've seen it in some people. Some children, they want to be in nature, and when they are with nature, they interact with plants and flowers and trees and the sky and the small water stream, patthar, mitti, everything. They are so much in love with everything. And you're wondering, what do they find in these things? I am interested in video games, and then, I don't know, riding a bike and this. Here's somebody who is so happy with nature. It's natural for this inner friend to have instant connection with nature, but not only with nature, even with the people, because it has unconditional love. Now, when you get in touch with it, Mother says in one place very beautifully, कैसे हम महसूस करते हैं when we are in touch with this inner friend? And Mother says very beautifully, you begin to live in all things and all beings. So the barriers separating individuals from each other break down. Hum ek hai, entire humanity is one. Nobody is left out. And you know their thoughts, you know their sensations, you know what they feel. And what seemed inert suddenly becomes full of life. Ek patthar hai na, small stone, you take it up and then hold it in your hand, and you're instantly connected with this small pebble in your hand. That is the power and capacity of the psychic being. There is a beautiful, I think, poem by Robert Frost, where he says that in your palm, you can actually feel the infinity sitting. In a grain of sand, you can actually connect with everything inside. So what about animals, plants, not just stones? Even with plants, you can actually get connected and then become one with them. Animals, dog, for others, dog is simply saying bow bow, but you know what it says. Such an instant connection with everything. So animals also speak in a language more or less inarticulate, maybe a bow bow or a meow, but for you, it's very clear and very expressive. So this instant connection with everything around is a special quality of this inner friend. Now comes the big question. How do we become friends with this friend? Now, let me see. How many of you would like to become friends with such an inner friend, the inner Hanuman? Obviously, there's no reason for not becoming a friend. And how do we become friends? One thing you have noticed, actually, the more time you spend with that new student who has come, the more you have a chance of becoming friends with him. Yes or no? You remember I asked you if a new student comes in your classroom, you're already noticed that this person has a nice qualities which you like. How do you become friends? You have to take out time. Like lunch interval, you have to go and sit with him. And then in between the periods, you just go and then say something to him. And then evening time, well, until you get into the bus, you probably sit with him. And then after some time, you will even tell him, hey, can I come to your home? Or you invite him to your home. You try to spend maximum time with him. And very soon you will become friends. Yes or no? Because you already, from what you have seen, well, you're liking him very, very much. So first thing is you have to remember, that there is somebody. All the time, if you are noticing things only from outside people and then things and other things and never ever remember this inner friend, you will never ever become friend. So the first thing is to remember. But remembering is not sufficient. You will have to get connected with that person. And in Mother says, in a very special sense, offer him. Suppose if you have a new friend and you are keeping a nice food, khana made by your mom, your favorite thing, wouldn't you like to offer it to your friend? Yes or no? Now, you are the best singer in your class and you know that your friend likes music. Wouldn't you like to offer your singing to him? अरे आओ, तुम्हें गाना पसंद है, मैं एक गाना सुनाता हूँ. And then you sing. Wouldn't you like to offer it to your friend? What a lovely thing. Whatever is there, food or your time or your effort or your capacities, your talents. And when you have become really good friends, you can share even your problems also with him. Yes or no? अरे आज मुझे इतना help चाहिए. And then you don't have to worry, whom should I approach? You already have a friend. Wouldn't you approach him? Now, this is the thing. Whatever you have, you begin to share. You begin to offer it to him. तुम्हें गाना पसंद है, तुम्हारे लिए एक गाना गाऊंगा. तुम्हें खाना पसंद है, I will offer it. Now, this is what we are going to say. Remember and offer. Whenever you get a time, whenever you get something nice, just making, hey, I'm going to share it with you. Whenever you get a time, just morning or whenever you get a alone time, even you go inside a room and then say, I'm going to sing a song for you. The one that I sing so very well. Close your eyes and sing a song for it. Or you want to read a poetry, or you want to share your experience with, for example, when you go back from your school in the evening time, a lot of things has happened in your school. Have a conversation with this inner friend. You know, aaj kya hua? And then close your eyes and you will find that gradually the friend also begins to converse and interact with you. But you will have to first remember and offer, and gradually the friend also will begin to interact with you. And once it begins, well, something beautiful and magical will happen. So the first thing, how are we supposed to befriend the friend? Remember and you understood the meaning of remember and offer. You know what is remember? So if you forget about your friend, well, he's not going to interact with you. But mere remembering is not sufficient. Offer just as an external friend. अच्छा खाना है तो offer करो. गा सकते हो? Share it with him. This sharing of the best part of us, whatever we are. And later, even our difficulties. I had a fight with my friend. Who am I supposed to do? I'm feeling so sad. Tell it to your inner friend and he will come up with a solution. I tell you, this can happen at whatever age. You don't have to worry about. I've seen it happening in small children. They tell their inner friend, oh, aaj you are ekdam bada jhagda hua. And then suddenly from inside they get the feeling, so what? You just go and then give him a hug and then give him a chocolate, become friends again, and the fight will be over. Even 5-6-year-old children are getting clear indication from inside. Now we are all grown up, so we can have much more of contact to remember that inner friend and keep sharing things with it. Now that is the one way. What more can we do? I'm going to share with you one more thing is whenever we do things which carry a certain higher vibration, that puts us in touch with this inner friend. Now you are looking at what is these things that carry a higher vibration. What can you say? What are the things that, suppose if you are giving gali to somebody, do you think it has got a higher vibration? When you are giving gali to somebody, or when you are pinching somebody or having a fight with somebody, does it carry a higher, meaning more beautiful vibration? No. When you are singing the song which you have been practicing, when you sing it in the best possible way, would you call that as a beautiful or higher vibration? Or when you are doing the thing that you most love, something which makes people happy, would you call that as higher vibration? Now, Sri Aurobindo says there are 3 things which this friend likes so much. When you actually engage ourselves in, it immediately connects us with this inner friend. 3 things are First, poetry. What is poetry? Is poetry and speaking the same thing? उसको क्या बोलते हैं? Prose. What is the difference between prose and poetry? Both are words, no? You put one word and one word and one word, and then it's the same. Yes or no? क्या फर्क है? Poetry is the expression of thought in harmonious way. When you're speaking, you can do any stupid thing, disconnected thing. Yesterday, you know what happened? Wait, I will tell you what will happen today morning. No, wait. So you can contradict yourself. That doesn't become higher thing. But poetry means harmonious thought, very beautifully said, with a rhythm which is beautiful. Yes. And there is a certain quality which makes you actually happy. It is actually a more condensed and more powerful form of speech. What took you 10 pages to communicate prose writing, you can communicate in just one small poem. You can pack so much into it, so much thoughts, emotions, lot of other things. One poem, if it is a really inspired poem, it can speak thousands of pages of content, and already anything in harmony, in melody. Poetry is soothing, relaxing. See, these are all higher vibrations of poetry. And the same applies to music also, isn't it? When the mind wants to speak with the emotions as part of it in a condensed way, well, it is poetry. And when the emotions are heightened, elevated, very refined, it can become music. And when you actually want to express through your body also very beautifully, it becomes art. The third thing is art. Poetry, music, and art. These three things are actually the doorway towards connecting with our inner friend. And what we are going to do in our The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost is my favorite poem. Okay, all of you, if you have a favorite poem and if you remember the author or the name, quickly type it out. Let me see how poetic we have people. Even if you like one poet, like, I don't know, William Wordsworth, it could be any language. Hindi poet, Hindi poem, English poet, English poem, or Tamil poet, Tamil poem. It could be any one. Come quickly. Daffodils. Oh, it's a beautiful poem by William Wordsworth. Where the Mind is Without Fear, Rabindranath Tagore. Divine Comedy. Who poem, is it by Sri Aurobindo? Saransh Mishra? Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, Robert Frost. Tu Chal Tere Vajud Ki by Harivansh Rai Bachchan. I've heard of him, but I don't yet have sufficient Hindi knowledge, so I'm not familiar with it. The Laughing Song by William Blake, Samarpad, Venatachal Nilayam, I don't know what it is, Sampan, Brook. So, I just wanted to share with you poetry, music, and art. These actually takes us closer. And has anybody mentioned any poem from Sri Aurobindo? Do you know what Sri Aurobindo calls himself? He says, I am first and foremost a poet. Did you know that? Oh, everything else comes next. All the people call him by various, he is this and that. He says, first and foremost, I'm a poet. And Who is by Sri Aurobindo. What we are going to do in our next session is we are going to see 2 poems by Sri Aurobindo, which will not only introduce Sri Aurobindo to you, but we will be making use of something that opens us to our inner friend. And here I pause, but when you come for the afternoon session, can you please bring 2-3 paper and color sketch pens and color pencil if you have, and Sada pencil also. So we will explore, because we are going to focus on poetry, music, and art. And Riddhima Rana really wants to say something. So we'll ask Riddhima Rana to say, what do you want to say?
Sir, actually, I don't read poems, but sir, I love to write poems on my own, and I love to write songs on my own. Like, it's a way of expressing myself when I'm sad, happy, or anything.
Excellent.
I just have my music diary and I write whatever I think in a form of music or poem.
Now, in the afternoon, something beautiful and magical is going to happen with you, Riddhima Rana, because you are going to widen and you are going to discover one more way of making yourself happy. And that is going to be the poem. Once we wake up to the beauty of the poem, Sri Aurobindo, well, you will be glad that you came across, but that discovery is for the afternoon.
And my dreams are all coming true. What I wanted, Shiv Kumar ji should speak to the children, what he should say to the children. He has said all that and more. He has told us ways to connect with the psychic entity that Sri Aurobindo calls the soul. Very beautifully. And it was a wonderful session. Shiv Kumar ji, we are so grateful to you. So grateful to you.
Shivda, you have brought children closer to the philosophy of the school. Perhaps today my children can understand why the school has conscious transformation in the logo, and art, dance, music are not just activities in the school. There is a deeper reason behind it, and it is with a deep thought. The flow of the talk was so simple, and such an organic flow that you actually felt while you were moving towards the psychic being. And I'm truly grateful, and I must say we are blessed to have you. It's always been a pleasure to listen to you, but this talk was really amazing, and I'm glad I could see children, that feeling of contentment and that happiness on their face. Thank you once again.